welcome back. On our big interview tonight, we have Honorable Aden Duale, Majority Leader in the National Assembly, and Honorable Duale-Murkomen, Majority Leader in the Senate. Now, they have been a bit busy on social media recently talking about the possible death of Parliament and a post-mortem of it, if some may say. And we want to get a bit more insight into that. And I actually want to first begin by welcoming the both of you to the program. Thank you for joining me on Newsnight. My first question is to you, Honorable Murkomen, and your tweet, where you said, and I can repeat this, you can confirm that Parliament is dead. It's an extension of the executive and the opposition. And you went on to talk about the opposition causing a stampede, trying to be more government than the government itself. But I'm keen to hear a bit more about the first part of that tweet. When did Parliament die, Honorable Murkomen, in your view?
First of all, I can comfortably say that what I said is what I believe in. In 1975, Honorable Shikuku stood in Parliament and said Kanu is dead. The Deputy Speaker at that point was Jean-Marie Seroney. So somebody rose on a point of order and asked, can you whether Shikuku can substantiate the fact that Parliament is dead? And Jean-Marie Seroney spoke from the chair and said, you can't substantiate the obvious. I think it's so obvious to every citizen of this republic that Parliament is not functioning in the manner in which was expected by the Constitution of Kenya 2010. The independence of Parliament is gone. Article 110 of the Constitution expected, and when we talk about Parliament, Parliament is not National Assembly. Parliament is National Assembly and the Senate. Article 110 of the Constitution expected that processing of bills in Parliament should go through both houses through a process that is expected to be concurrence between the two speaker houses. So the death of Parliament has been slow. It started way when we started in 2013 to go to Parliament. Even at that point in time, National Assembly and some cohorts of individuals in National Assembly have been working with the executive to frustrate the functioning of the Senate because they believe that Senate is a robust institution that is able to carry out very serious oversight. And they see that accountability is one of the things that most of these people fear to face. So when I say Parliament is failed,
yes,
I am not speaking for the Senate alone. I'm speaking also for my colleagues who are in National Assembly, who would like to participate in the debates, in the robust debates in Parliament. But there is a cartel in that National Assembly that hasn't given a chance to participate.
So let me ask you this, Honorable Murkomen, before I allow Honorable Duale to respond. If the Senate is also dead, you're now sort of giving us a bigger picture of what you meant in that tweet, and you are the Majority Leader of the Senate, and you have been the Majority Leader all this time, don't you bear responsibility? Some would ask, if Parliament is dead, are you not one of the, and I use this word carefully, are you not one of the killers as Majority Leader?
I do take full responsibility. When we came to Parliament in 2013, and when the new Parliament came to be with the Senate, you remember it took us going to Supreme Court for National Assembly to give in to the constitutional demands that bills must come to Senate. When I became the Majority Leader, you know that we are in High Court now dealing with over 30 bills that have been signed illegally without passing through the Senate. You know for sure that every time I've raised issues in Parliament, you, Waiga Maura, and the media have always categorized my raising of issues that it is Tanga, it's William Ruto competing with Uhuru Kenyatta and all that kind of things. I have been consistent as a Senate Majority Leader in calling out the organized criminal activities of strangling the Parliament itself, so that it becomes easy for elements within the executive to pass things that don't benefit the people.
Honorable Murkomen, I'll give you a bit more time. Hang on. Let me bring in Honorable Duale. You've heard what your colleague in the Senate has had to say. Your thoughts on this. Is Parliament dead tonight?
Let me speak for the National Assembly. I don't want to become a squatter like Honorable Murkomen, just to speak for Parliament. Because Kenya has a bicameral Parliament, the Senate and the National Assembly. And the framers of the Constitution were very, very categorical in terms of defining the function of every house. And these are found in Article 93, 94, 95, 96. If you read the Constitution, it will defines the role of each and every house. Read together with the fourth schedule on the functions of the national government and the functions of the county government. Mm-hmm. So Honorable Murkomen can only speak for the Senate. And if the Senate is dead, the honorable thing Honorable Murkomen should do is that being the leader next to the speaker, because if you read Article 108 of the Constitution, the order of precedence in the National Assembly is Speaker Muturi, myself, Honorable Bandi. So if Parliament or the National Assembly has failed, then we have no business. The three of us must resign and say that we have failed Parliament. So Honorable Murkomen can't have his cake and eat it.
So are you asking him?
You know, you can't go out there and say, yeah, let me finish. You can't go out there and say, I am the leader of majority party in the Senate. On the other side of the mouth, you're accusing your party leader because the person who has sent to bills is the president, where some of them, Murkomen participates. But let me come to, has Parliament failed? World over, the three arms of government, the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. The executive and Parliament campaign together when they go out for elections.
Okay.
And every party that forms government will do all actions that will make sure the manifesto, the policies of that government is implemented. And I'll give you a very good example. Just one of the most developed democracies in the world today is the US. And take an example of the impeachment of President Trump.
Yes.
And you saw how, you know, old octogenarian senators and congressmen were voting. But let me say this.
Yes, briefly, please, because
I can say without fear of contradiction.
Yes.
Yeah, that the National Assembly, which has more powers, you know the problem we have in Kenya is people don't want to read the Constitution. The Senate has limited powers. The Senate of the Republic of Kenya is not like the Senate of the US, for example.
Okay.
The Senate of the Republic of Kenya is to protect. So honorable, and let me finish this. When it comes to bills,
yes.
When it comes to bills, and that's what took the Senate to court. If you read Article 109, 110, 111, 112, and 114, it gives you which bills should go to which house. For example, money bills ought to originate only in the National Assembly.
Okay. Well, we're going to get
where there is
Honorable Duale.
Let me finish this.
I'm going to have
finally, finally.
Okay, finally.
Finally, where there is even a doubt on whether this bill is to go to the Senate or the National Assembly, that question will be decided by the two speakers, not Murkomen, not Honorable Duale, not the rank and the file membership of the Senate. So I think Honorable Murkomen, you know, he might be a lawyer, but I'm more senior than him in politics. I think the office of the leader of majority must be carried with a certain responsibility, with a certain decorum, not, you know, that freak, Twitter freak. You know what you post, Honorable Murkomen post.
Okay,
and might be different from what Dennis Itumbi or Robert Alai will post.
Thank you, Honorable Duale. We're going to get deeper into the role and function of the National Assembly. Honorable Murkomen, a challenge has been thrown your way. If Parliament is dead and you are the majority leader of the Senate, why haven't you resigned?
Listen, Maura, when there is nothing like National Assembly and the Senate, and there is no single bill in Kenya that is called National Assembly bill. All bills are bills of Parliament, acts of Parliament. And the Constitution requires the decision of how to pass an act of Parliament must come through the two speakers, not one speaker of one house going to lay some bills or refusing to process bills that come from another house. You must appreciate, Maura, what the challenge we are dealing with. Even if you listen to the sycophantic statements of my colleague Duale, you see, even in that United States of America, Parliament separates itself to be an independent house, so that then, even if you are in Jubilee like I am with Duale, you become an institution that holds the executive accountable. You can't be useful. You cannot be useful to the government of Jubilee government or this government of Kenya as a majority leader, even myself from the Jubilee party, if you are going to be the kind of sycophant that Duale is. You cannot accept a situation where you don't tell those who are in authority in the executive to the face when they are wrong. The point is this country chose separation of powers doctrine to have independence of parliament, independence of the executive, independence of the judiciary, independent constitutional offices that are commissioned for that purpose. But if you look at this country, Waiga, and let's stop lying to ourselves. The nation is operating like a functional dictatorship. The institutions that are required to hold executive accountable are dead.
Which is why I hope you're leading to answer my question, which is then what are you still doing as leader of the majority? That's what I want you to finish with.
I have used my position as majority leader of Jubilee in the Senate to fight for the independence of parliament. That fight has been converted to be like I am fighting the president. You've heard so many characters saying Murkomen should be resigned, should be removed, he is a rebel, all that kind of thing. I can account for every period of time I've served as majority leader as having been acting independently to fight for resources that go to county, bills to go to both sections of the House. I defended Nairobi County when it was unconstitutionally seized, and so many things that I know that they are the right thing to do. But many people want to label that to be, a rebellion or that kind of thing. No. In fact, a very good executive should be willing to allow Parliament to be independent so that then negotiation between Parliament and the executive can give better services to the people.
Honorable
That is what happens in all functional democracy.
Allow me to interrupt you there. A quick fact check from a sitting member of Parliament that when bills come they are classified as either order paper for the National Assembly or for the Senate. That's from a sitting member of Parliament. But that's not what I want to ask you. Hold on, Honorable Murkomen. Let me ask you this. At a time when Kenyans are grappling with COVID-19, it has upended their lives. It has affected how they make money. Some tonight don't know what they're going to eat. They don't know where they will sleep at the end of the month after they have to pay rent and they can't. Would a sitting parliament, a parliament that is alive and vibrant, would it solve their problems? Because as of now, they feel that the parliament is there is not. Honorable Murkomen, is that what you mean? Before I come to Duale, is that what you mean?
Maura.
You know, the parliament we have in Kenya...
Maura.
Hold on, Duale. This is a short one. Briefly, Murkomen, briefly, please.
The parliament we have in Kenya is if we are going to operate the way we have been operating, the parliament that we have in Kenya would only wait for proposals from the executive to be able to act. But thankfully, us in the Senate took the initiative to establish the COVID-19 emergency committee that is chaired by Honorable Sakaja. And in a period of 2 weeks, they have been able to come up with a robust bill that we are going to debate on Tuesday and send it to National Assembly. I hope it will see the light of the day.
Maura.
Whose provisions, Maura, will have...
Maura.
Yes, Honorable Duale, hold on. He's wrapping up. Finish up, please, Honorable Murkomen.
Will have far-reaching impact in salvaging the situation of the people of Kenya, particularly those who are vulnerable. Because
thank you, Honorable.
Let me complete. Most of the proposals that have been given by the executive assembly only focus on those who are within government. But the proposals we are giving are going to deal, which have been done by the committee chaired by Honorable Sakaja, is going to have a greater impact in salvaging the situation of the most vulnerable citizens of this republic across the board.
Honorable Duale, come in, please.
Maura, let me first say that it's very, very unfortunate It's better. I have no problem if I become sycophant to the Constitution. But I'm sure the Kenyans out there listening can look at what the quality of the leadership of my counterpart. But let me give you an example. This afternoon, we dealt with the two regulations, the regulation establishing the COVID-19 Emergency Fund Committee. Mm-hmm. In the regulations, the Senate has no role. This afternoon, we have concluded the regulations on the VAT reduction from 16 to 14. The Senate has no role. This afternoon, the Minister for National Treasury.
Hold on, Honorable
Murkomen. Has no role.
Let me finish. Let me finish. I mean, I want him to relax because I gave him time. This afternoon, the Minister for National Treasury has submitted to Parliament. I have tabled the supplementary estimates 2019-2020 that will give the Minister the powers to reallocate resources geared towards the fighting this epidemic and saving the economic slowdown. But Maura, let me say it. When you are the leader of majority of the ruling party, you have an access to the party leader, to government ministers. You need to do consultation. You are the one to tell your party leader and government that this is not in the interest of the people of Kenya. This is in the interest of all of us. You build consensus between the executive. You do daily. You talk to the Attorney General, who is part of the officers that process the legislative proposal. You talk to the minister. You have a daily contact with the Minister for Finance. And I want to make it very clear, to the people of Kenya. Money bills, Article 114. Money bills can only originate from the National Assembly. Read Article 114. The National Assembly can originate any bill, even the impeachment of the president, the impeachment of the deputy president, the impeachment of any constitutional office holder, including CSS in the judiciary, can only originate in the National Assembly. Honorable Murkomen, wants to behave like a squatter. He had the choice to become a member of parliament. I mean, nobody stopped him. Mm-hmm. He chose to be a senator.
Let me ask you this.
No, let me finish. No,
it's for you, Honorable Duale. It's you. I'm asking the question, and I want to interrupt to ask you this. Many Kenyans tonight wonder why Parliament could not have passed this legislation a bit earlier, why they went on recess.
Good.
Leaving many wondering, whereas in other jurisdictions, we saw members of Parliament quickly passing laws to shelter the vulnerable. Honorable Duale.
Maura, you are very right. When the president addressed the nation and raised a number of issues and challenged the National Assembly and Parliament to do their bit as per the Constitution, Parliament does not only work in the plenary, Parliament works in its committees. And that's why you see the Committee on Delegated Legislation has already done the first two regulations, the one establishing the fund and the one giving the minister to charge the new VAT rates. The Committee on Finance is dealing with the tax laws, the amendment on excise duty, the amendment to VAT, the amendment to income tax, the amendment to KRA Act, the amendment to tax procedure. Then next week, Wednesday, I can tell you, and take it for free, the House will complete the supplementary estimate. The President will sign the appropriation bill. It will not go to the Senate because the Senate and Murkomen have no powers. And in the Constitution, we will finish with the tax laws. The Senate has no powers within the reading of Article 110, 111.
I believe
Parliament was working the last 10 days through committees.
Okay. I believe you've made your point. Let me allow Honorable Murkomen to respond. You've referenced Senate quite a bit, and he's the majority leader. And Honorable Murkomen, as you respond, please tell me this. One of Senate's key roles is to coordinate duties between, of course, county governments and the national government as well. At this time, we are seeing several county governments doing their own things, some seemingly very impressive, launching projects, etc., to deal with COVID-19, while others are saying we don't have enough money. What is Senate doing to ensure that counties are suitably empowered to deal with COVID-19 at a time when we are told the virus is really targeting or moving it within the counties?
First of all, I want to emphasize to Honorable Duale that we are not in competition now who is the big man, who is, who is more powerful and all that. What we are interested in is to ensure that Parliament functions, and the functions of Parliament should be able to assist the common mwananchi. The Senate, as I told you, in 2 weeks, the committee that is chaired by Honorable Sakaja, which we established 2 weeks ago, has come up with very important bill that we are going to pass on Tuesday. This bill deals with, puts in place national and county coordination committee when it comes to this pandemic, so that then coordination of pandemics will not become erratic as we see in different counties doing what they want to do. We have also in that bill dealt with socioeconomic protective measures that deals with issues of loans and mortgages, moratorium on penalties on loans, measures that are protecting contractual obligations that are existing, measures that deal with issues of tenancy and agreements, employment, social safety, especially on the vulnerable groups, and issues of utility like water, trade licenses, land rates, which are really majorly county functions. So that bill is an omnibus that carries all the concerns that we have on the COVID-19, but also that will be used to deal with all other pandemics in future. That bill is going to be passed on Tuesday next week, and hopefully then from there, we expect that the national government is going to be able to, and county government is going to be able to use that bill to take action.
Okay.
The last thing is that through the committee that we formed, our committee has pursued through the Council of Governors, working together with the Council of Governors on areas that we need to harmonize regulations that deal with various concerns, cross-cutting issues that deal with this particular disease. But as I want to continue insisting that if Parliament wants to, if we want to be more useful as Parliament, we must leave this petty competition that is there and focus on the bigger picture in terms of giving our mandate and become true to ourselves and in holding the executive accountable, and for us to robustly create an environment that everybody is going to contribute to the suggestions that are going to make our country to be greater and better. But if all of us are going to lie ourselves and say, oh, you are a majority leader, you need to go and have a conversation with our minister, go and have private conversation with the president, that is not what was intended in the establishment of Parliament.
Okay.
Parliament as an institution must continue to function in a manner that will push the executive to take up certain responsibilities once you pass those laws.
Honorable Murkomen, yes, tonight, this is for you. Tonight,
yeah.
This is for you. Tonight you're speaking as a man who knows the future is not certain, some would say. Is it possible that there are looming changes in party leadership, for example, in Parliament? Is it possible that you are not sure about the safety of your seat as the leader of majority in the Senate, Honorable Murkomen?
Why? What makes you think so?
No, there are those who feel that that is what is making you speak the way you are speaking tonight, Honorable Murkomen.
I have been speaking like that, my friend, from since when I was elected in 2017. Mm-hmm. I have never changed. Duale knows, even within private circles of the party, I am always independent mind. I speak my mind. So I don't know where you got these infatuations that some people have about changes in the Jubilee leadership in Parliament. As far as I'm concerned, the senators and us in the Senate are working hard to ensure that the situation we are dealing with is remedied. Us in Jubilee in the Senate are 100% united. I have no questions regarding to my leadership. I only see some busybodies on social media talking about my position, and they have been doing so from 2018. That is not of concern to me at all. At the moment, I am more concerned about how we can make Parliament more responsive to the issues that affect the common mwananchi, and how we can synergize our efforts as both National Assembly and the Senate, because there is only one parliament in Kenya with two chambers, National Assembly and the Senate.
Fair enough.
It is not possible for parliament to succeed if both houses are not working together to find solutions to the things that affect the people of Kenya.
Fair enough. I want to ask the same question to Honorable Duale, but with a twist. Honorable Duale, some would say you're playing safe because of the same concerns, that there could be changes in the future and you want to protect the seat of majority that you currently hold in the National Assembly.
No, number one, let me be very clear that I am a founding member of the Jubilee Party. I am not a guest of anyone. I will not be the first and the last leader of majority of the National Assembly.
And you don't believe you're playing safe, which is what some say you are?
No, in fact, playing safe is a good attribute. And why do I say so? I have a work to do, and I've been given a duty to make sure that out of the 216 Jubilee members and the other 349 members of the National Assembly together create a synergy, work with them, deliver the National Assembly mandate with the rest, with the committee chairs, with the rank and the file of the membership, to make sure that we do our oversight, we do our representation, we do our legislative powers. But let me say this, particularly this time, what does the country need? The country needs, number one, to make sure that all the health regulations which the Minister for Health has submitted are approved, so that he does not violate the law.
Can I ask you a question? Exactly. I want to ask you a question.
Let me just finish before that.
Because I don't want to miss that point.
That. So we have got...
On that one,
just let me finish. We have got 4 regulations.
Go ahead, Honorable Duale. Go ahead.
And these 4 regulations, two of them we are done with them today. The fund and the VAT. We are working the next 3 days. The Committee on Delegated Legislation is working on the one on the curfew, the one on the 2 regulations from the Health Ministry on the control, the prevention, social distancing, the wearing of masks. They are now law until otherwise the House decides. Thirdly, this country now needs both to cushion the citizens and to cushion the economy. And that's why His Excellency the President, through the Cabinet and the National Treasury, have introduced what we call the Tax Laws Amendment Bill, which we will conclude hopefully by Wednesday and assented to. The other important thing is resources to buy the PPE, resources to buy ventilators, resources to buy sanitizers, resources. So all these, the allocation of the 2019-2020 budget are going to be done through the budget supplementary estimate table this afternoon. So what the National Assembly is doing is practical. Honorable Murkomen is talking about a bill by Honorable Sakaja that I can tell you will take another 3 months. So I think everybody has a style, but let me make it very clear. If you read Article 93 of the Constitution, says the Parliament, there will be a Parliament of Kenya composed of the National Assembly and the Senate. If you read the subsequent articles 94, 95, and 96, it gives each house specific functions in line with the 4th schedule of the Constitution. And I'm sure if people like Bob Mukangi, if people like Yashpal Gai, if people like Honorable Okot is listening to me, the guys who are in the committee of experts, there is nothing called the Parliament of Kenya and doing the same work. I mean, if we are doing the same work, then why is the Senate not vetting the Chief Justice? Why is the Senate not vetting the Director General of NSIS?
Okay, now you'll allow
Why
me
is the Senate not vetting the CSS?
You've made your point, Honorable Duale.
In conclusion, Honorable Murkomen can't walk. Can't chew gum and walk the stairs. He cannot.
Honorable
He
Duale,
should either remain as the leader of Senate,
yes,
or he should remain as the senator of Elgeyo Marakwet.
Okay.
And please, I want to ask him.
Thank you, Honorable
I want
Duale.
to ask him humbly.
Okay, briefly, please.
No, I want to ask him humbly that I think it demeans his office, on a live television, to call his counterpart. I don't mind. I was called a sycophant many times. But I'm sure at the end of the day, many years to come, the people of Kenya and generations will judge me as the first occupant of the leader of majority under the new constitution.
Okay, Honorable Duale, I believe I've given you enough time, and to both of my guests, I have some SMS questions that I'll be reading to you at this time. But before that, this one for you, Honorable Duale, and it's a brief one. You have spoken about what Parliament has done, is doing, and it all sounds very good on paper. But I now want to speak to you as Member of Parliament for Garissa Township. Now, under the Health Act, the subsidiary legislation, it says that not wearing a mask in public is an offense. Now, that law assumes that, one, there are enough masks in this country for all 50 million Kenyans, and two, that those masks are affordable for all 50 million Kenyans. In Garissa Township tonight, Honorable Duale, can you tell me that all your constituents can afford those masks? And if not, what are you doing to protest laws like that, which might be good in terms of intentions, but are really not practical in Kenya? This is specifically to you as Garissa Township MP.
Waiga, that particular section on the mask you have stated is part of the health regulations that the minister submitted to Parliament, which is before the delegated legislation. So that committee will deal with it.
Okay.
At what stage do we make it compliant? Secondly, the moment we approve the supplementary budget, government, and we have already approved the COVID-19 emergency fund committee to be operational, those resources will be used to make sure that the 50 million Kenyans, and more so, the ones that can't afford, government is under obligation to use the taxpayers' money from the reallocated resources within the supplementary estimate to make sure those masks are available.
Okay, fair enough.
But for now,
yes,
until that law passes next Wednesday.
Until that law passes, one wonders what your constituents will do until then. Honorable Murkomen, come in.
About that, first of all, the laws must come, both regulations must come to both houses of Parliament because health is a devolved function.
I don't think so.
And Waika, when it comes to the Senate, you know for sure that the people of Kenya should rest assured that we have the best interest, your best interest in our hearts as our senators. But more importantly, Honorable Duale challenged me whether I can be the senator of Elgeyo Marakwet and majority leader, whether I can chew gum and walk at the same time. I want to tell Duale I have the ability to chew gum and walk at the same time.
Okay, let's look at the SMSs and then I'll give you each some final comments. All right, let's put them up on the screen. First one here, Gigi says, I am shocked that Duale thinks this is a contest of the Houses of Parliament. This is about the Kenyan Mwananchi. Okay. Let me look at some tweets now. Remember, the hashtag is NEWSNIGHT and our SMS line is 22422. This is what Kenyans have to say tonight. Bore Collins says, this is not time for power games and supremacy. What Kenyans want is leadership. Both Murkomen and Duale have failed.
Absolutely.
You agree that you...
Absolutely.
Okay. Both Murkomen and... Let me
let me
read that again.
No, what I'm saying...
Continue.
Okay, let me read that again.
What I'm saying is this.
Let me finish the tweet. The tweet says, both Murkomen and Duale have failed. I hope both my guests are hearing that. They should watch what is happening in mature democracies. Let me read the others as well before they respond. Okay, this is another tweet. This one coming in from Bob Radi Vic 019. You say, parliamentary functions have to be upheld. The MPs need not sleep during these critical times. We need to hear their voices. Another tweet here. I believe we have one or two more. This one is from Brian98 Otieno. You say, I wonder why Parliament could not have passed the bill earlier. Okay. And this is the final one, although I'm sure there are many more, but these are the ones we have time for. Makumi Munga says, it's shocking to see two majority leaders concentrating on petty issues instead of concentrating on empowering Kenyans who are struggling during this pandemic of COVID-19. Honorable Duale, you had tried to speak while I was reading that feedback. One, they are saying they see failure from the majority leaders tonight. Two, they are concerned that there is bickering over what many feel are petty issues while Kenya is dealing with COVID-19. And some even wonder why bills dealing with COVID-19 could not have been passed earlier. Please give us your final thoughts, and I'll urge you to be brief on this, Honorable Duale.
And I think Kenyans are entitled to their opinions. I mean, there are 50 million. I'm sure there are many Kenyans watching and who feel that what we are discussing is not petty. Number two, the bills originated after the president spoke to the nation, and that was about 10 days ago, and the committees are working. The House works through committees, and I'm sure with the timeline given in another 3-4 days, today we have done half of it. The supplementary budget and the tax laws will be done next week. And I'm sure when history is written fairly, each house will be judged. But let me finally say that one tweet was talking about developed democracies. Just out of humor, I want to remind that person that I'm sure he watched when President Trump gave the State of the Nation address to the Congress.
Okay.
And how the leader of majority of the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi, behaved. That, I think, has never happened in our Kenyan democracy.
Honorable Duale, you keep referencing the history books and them being fair to you when they are written. Briefly tell me, when the history books are written, will it say that Honorable Duale took a pay cut at a time when many Kenyans were struggling with feeding themselves?
No, let me ask you, Maura.
No, please answer the question. It's a yes or no question, Honorable Duale.
Let me finish. A pay cut of 30,000, a pay cut of 50,000, a pay cut of 200,000 is not the issue.
It's not
the issue today, and we raised on the floor of the House. If you allow me, the issue today is the blue chip corporate organizations in our country who are posting billions and billions in terms of profits from East Africa breweries, Kenya Commercial Bank, Safaricom, name them. By today, they should have been giving back those profits from the Kenyan people through the service they provided.
Okay.
They should have been giving, we should have been seeing them saying 2 billion, 3 billion. Look at Nigeria.
You're right.
I mean, the big corporations paying 1 billion naira.
I get
we're only seeing Cooperative Bank giving 100 million.
I get where you're coming from.
We want to see the corporations.
But my question to you was...
No, let me finish. The corporations that were making billions of profits every year.
Yes.
Please give us back 2 billion, 3 billion. Let's not talk about 30,000, 40,000, 200,000 pay cut.
So you will not take a pay cut. So you will not take a pay cut in solidarity with your constituents and with Kenyans.
In fact, what we have done, what we have done in Parliament,
I can't allow you to continue.
Out of the budget.
Honorable Duale, it's yes or no. I need to give Honorable Murkomen a chance as well.
No, let me tell you. I mean, I don't want to cheat you. A pay cut of 30,000, 40,000.
It's not the amount. It is the thought of solidarity as a representative of constituents
by the way,
Garissa Township.
People of Garissa Township, the people of Garissa Township sent me to the National Assembly not to do a pay cut, but to make sure that resources and laws are available for Kenyans to be safe in their homes.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Duale. Honorable Murkomen, your final thoughts and the pay cut question to you as well.
Well, my final thought is that I would want to call my colleagues in Parliament, both National Assembly and the Senate, that we need to prepare ourselves for history to judge us as having stood on the side of the people when it was such a difficult moment. We are dealing with a pandemic. And to do so, we must go beyond the proposals of the executive. We must be able to have more robust proposals like the ones we have proposed in the Senate. And we must work together as both houses to approve those proposals that go beyond just the salaries and the taxes of those who are in informal jobs to salvaging the lives of those we call hustlers who need our support across the country. And secondly, I want to assure the people of Kenya that Murkomen is not a coward. I am not the kind of person that can be intimidated, that, you know, if you are a senator, you must always watch your back, that there is a minister watching you, there is some government operative that is looking at you because when you are doing the right thing. If you are doing the right thing, there is absolutely nothing to fear. Okay. If you are doing the right thing, you become an additional resource to those who are both in power and those who are not in power. And that is what I want Kenyans, and I want history to judge me, that there was a man called Murkomen, whether he was a majority leader or not, he stood on the side of the truth and he stood for the right thing. On the question of the pay cut, I have had a discussion with my employer, the Parliamentary Service Commission, and I want to disclose this publicly, that I went there and saw my salary slip. It was less than 10,000 shillings. And so I told myself it was not going to be of great benefit to the people of Kenya for me to give maybe 5,000 or so. I am willing to collect my personal donation that will be far much greater than what could have been cut from my salary and go and give to the committee that was established by the president as part of my donation to the people of Kenya. Okay.
And sorry, I missed a line there. So you feel that the amount that you'd give from your salary would not be sufficient? Is that what you're saying?
It will be, because currently my salary slip is less than 10,000 shillings. Okay. You know, Maura, let me speak for many members of parliament, because many of you never understand. Many of them,
we are struggling to understand that.
Let me say this. Many of you may never understand. It will be a lie if I stood here and say they cut 30% of my 10,000. Many members of parliament, when they join parliament, commit all their salary to mortgages and loans. And so whatever they take home at the moment in their salary slip is less than 10,000 for most of them. Some even don't get anything. So the best thing for us practically to contribute at the moment is perhaps to go and get from whatever earnings, like some of us who do farming and other things, get your contribution from where you are earning, and in solidarity with the people of Kenya, make their contribution to the fundraising kitty that was established. And then, of course, it may be nothing, but it might buy sanitizers for some people, it might buy hospital equipment for others, it might buy even masks for 10,000 or 5,000 people. I will make my contribution and I will give it to the institution that has been established. And I believe that it will be better than if I was to cut my little salary.
Okay, I'm sure there are many Kenyans tonight, Honorable Murkomen, who are tweeting you because they find it hard to believe that a man in your position walks away with 10,000 Kenya shillings. But there are others who would say that at least you have a choice. For many Kenyans tonight, a pay cut or no pay is not a choice. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. Honorable Duale-Murkomen, Majority Leader in Senate, and Honorable Aden Duale, Majority Leader in the National Assembly, for your time and for speaking with us on very important issues at a time when many Kenyans are struggling and suffering because of the disruption brought about by COVID-19. Thank you to my guests, and thank you for everyone who's tweeted and weighed in on this program tonight. If we don't have any more SMSs or tweets to read, do we have any, Monica? No more SMSs at this time. It's time to wrap up the show. On behalf of the whole team that makes this show possible, and of course our sign language interpreter Wilson Mushora, and for all the tweets and messages, the hashtag has been Newsnight, the SMS 22422. Thank you for watching. My name is Wahiga Mwaura. Have a good night, and of course keep it Citizen TV, where we endeavor to update you on all matters around COVID-19 and everything that comes with it, even as Kenya seeks to fight this pandemic. Have a safe and a good night.